Hello my friends, so I welcome all of you star seeds, light workers and wanderers to this session, and today I have channeled Metatron Magnetic Consciousness in order to ask about three questions in particular. So the first one is about what is the true meaning of crop circles and how are crop circles created. And I believe many of us may have seen some weird types of designs appearing out of nowhere in random places, especially in corn fields. And this has been a mystery for a long time. So today, I hope this session will help you clear about how crop circles are formed and what is their purpose. And also, I've asked about are there any extraterrestrial beings currently on the Earth planet which may be in the form of a human-like vehicle. So the second query relates with that, and the other thing is the final query relates with understanding what is karmic debt and to understand how we can overcome or release and find out if we have any type of karmic debt. So they also describe the science we can look out for to find out what type of karmic debt we may have. They describe the two types of karmic debt in this channeling session. Furthermore, they also tell us about the two types of crop circles that are usually found on our planet. So Metatron has described this in detail. And also, before the session begins, I want to say thank you to all of you for joining on the Patreon, where I am uploading sessions as well as we do meditations. So thank you all for joining me over there. And before the session begins, I would be very thankful if you could like this video, because it will help it to reach out to other star seeds and wanderers at this time. So with that being said, thank you so much.
I am Metatron Magnetic Consciousness now in communication through these channels. Vibration in the divine light and love of the universal light grid programmer. I, Metatron Magnetic Consciousness, am now going to address and answer the queries which are present in the mind of this channel at this time. However, we would recommend the use for internal discernments to be advised. I, Metatron, would like to state that the queries that are presented through this universal love light child of the divine light grid programmer relates with what are crop circles. We must state that, firstly, from our angelic realm, I, along with many other angelic beings, have noticed that the people of the Earth planet have a query related with the understanding of crop circles. We must state that crop circles are patterns that primarily appear on lands around the world. These patterns are primarily created through a process of flattening a crop, mostly a type of cereal crop as known by your people. Furthermore, these crop circles have usually been connected with extraterrestrial entities and the so-called UFO sightings by the people of the planet, and there is a connection between the crop circles and such sightings in reality. Furthermore, there are many locations wherein the crop circles are found in enormous numbers throughout your planetary sphere. Furthermore, we must now state that the crop circles primarily appear in only certain locations, such as the locations around areas wherein there is landscapes, dense population areas, and other monuments of cultural heritage for the people of your planet, such as the Stonehenge and other areas. Furthermore, we must state that these crop circles are found to appear overnight in primarily the fields of your peoples. Furthermore, many of the entities on the Earth planet have found patterns that were created by such types of entities who were responsible for the creation of crop circles. Furthermore, many of the crop circles have a link with the so-called extraterrestrial spacecrafts. Further, we must state that the crop circles primarily are created through the vibration of energy patterns that are hitting the Earth planet. There are two types of crop circles that are created. One is created by the absorption of energy that is coming from outer space and hitting the Earth's planetary sphere. Such types of energies, when it reaches the Earth's planetary sphere, creates a type of distortion, wherein the crop circle primarily is created in a location of an area wherein the energy is absorbed in the fields. Thereby, it creates patterns in the form of images which are known by your people as the crop circles. There are other types of crop circles which are primarily generated by extraterrestrial entities, primarily the Orion Gray counterparts, who enter the Earth's planetary sphere through the quarantine fields and the hide in such locations wherein there is large amounts of space, such as in fields and other landscapes wherein there are large amounts of spaces and open areas for them to conduct their patterns of search or any other type of process they may be inherently trying to conduct, and thereby this creates a type of distortion wherein the entities are able to form a situation wherein the crop circles primarily are able to regenerate when the Orions leave behind patterns of the energy that is discharged from their spacecrafts. This is an example of a second type of crop circle which is primarily found upon your planet. We, the angelic beings, and I, Metatron Magnetic Consciousness, must also give a warning that many of the beingness entities on the Earth planet may find that the location of a crop circle may have energy patterns that may not be productive for their understanding. Thereby, Such types of energy patterns may be of a nature causing the stress for entities. This means that it is vitally important for all entities to protect themselves and to preserve their energy patterns, and instead, before approaching any type of crop circles, they must protect their energy with the vibration of love and light of the one universal light grid programmer. Furthermore, I must state that the other query relates with, is this a communication from extraterrestrial entities? And we must firstly state that the crop circles can only be equated with symbolic representation. Therefore, they may be considered as a creation of an after effect of the energy patterns which were found near such locations wherein the crop circles were seen. Therefore, we must state that this is in turn not a direct communication from extraterrestrial beings. We shall now address the other portion of the query related with how many extraterrestrial entities are living on Earth at the present time as one of the human collective, because they physically look like the human entities. How many different extraterrestrial races are present at this time, and what is their percentage and polarity of each extraterrestrial race as related with the Earth planet? I, Metatron, must now state that there are none of the other extraterrestrial races found within the Earth's planet directly, which are of a positive nature in the bodily complexes that may seem similar to the human bodily complexes, as this is primarily prohibited by the Council of Planets, and the quarantine of the Earth planet prevents any positive extraterrestrial beings to be directly infringing upon the workflow of the human society. Therefore, we may state that certain types of soul complexes are only found. These soul complexes are allowable through the process of soul swapping. Therefore, we must state that the primary appearance of other extraterrestrial entities from other planetary sphere happens through the process of soul swap, and directly also in the case of those entities known as the reptilians, the Orions, the Anunnaki, and the Grey Social Memory Complex, who do not adhere to the quarantine placed on the Earth's planet, and they deliberately enter into the Earth's quarantine fields. These entities are found to have created certain types of human-like bodily vehicles, which they may perform through the process of biological cloning or the process of acting as a host for their consciousness to operate in the Earth planet. These are the types of beings that are usually found in the Earth planet directly in the form of a human-like physical vehicle. Furthermore, we shall now address the other portion of the query related with how is a karmic debt created, and what are the signs of having a karmic debt. We must state that firstly, entities on the Earth planet must realize that the divine universal light grid programmer is within all entities, is within all objects, is within all beingness that is found in the universe. Therefore, karmic debt primarily is generated as an energy or an experience that entity creates through the process of separation, and thereby through the process of separation it may generate experiences which may be considered as negative, karmically, which are considered as actions generated from separation of the self with the other. This creates a distortion of karmic debt. Furthermore, we must state that the higher purpose of karmic debt is primarily to allow each universal light grid programmer to learn and expand the self by becoming more compassionate and loving, with a deepening of experience of the oneness of the one universal light grid programmer. Furthermore, the aspect of karmic debt primarily occurs when an entity performs an action, either of a positive or a negative nature. If the entity performs an action which is of a positive nature, then a positive karmic debt is collected, and if the entity creates a negative action, through the filter of separation that is found in the Earth planets, the entity performs such an action to another entity, whoever the other entity is also the divine universal light grid programmer. And what the entity performs to the divine universal light grid programmer returns back, and in order to balance the karmic debt, situations are created either of a positive or a negative nature based upon the types of actions performed. Therefore, Metatron must state that there may be many types of signs that entities have karmic debt. The first sign of karmic debt is that there is always a type of blockage that is generated by the universal complex. If an entity has a negative karmic debt, the blockage may appear in terms of obstacles or any other type of challenge or catalyst which appears continuously. Whenever the entity who seeks the completion of its mission in its life, this may appear as a blockage, and this is the primary blockage, which must be recognized as a negative karmic debt. Furthermore, a positive karmic debt is primarily created when an entity recognizes that a positive karmic debt is in assistance from the universal complex, which means that an entity with a positive karmic debt receives support and opportunities from the universe, even when it does not have any type of actions to perform. And many a times, opportunities and good tidings appear to such entities out of nowhere. This is an example of a sign of a positive karmic debt. Furthermore, Metatron must now state that there are many simple methods to accelerate the category of karmic debt release. Furthermore, the recognition of the type of karmic debt is primarily of importance by each universal divine love light child in this timeline, while becoming self-aware of the actions performed to other entities who are in essence the universal light grid programmer, and by being aware of the actions taken in the past space-time, there can be a general awareness of either the karmic debt, if it is of a positive or a negative nature, and thereby if there is a positive karmic debt, then the entity must realize that it must continue in those actions more and more, since a positive karmic debt will lead it towards higher levels of understanding and opportunities. If the karmic debt is of a negative nature, then the entity must remember that the actions it must take must be related with the vibration of, as known by your people, as the vibration of forgiveness, and to change the memory of a negative action performed upon another entity to a positive action. Furthermore, The best way to resolve any karmic debt against any entity is to practice repentance and asking for forgiveness. This is the best way to release any karmic negative debt in this timeline. Furthermore, an action related with that of charity or giving of charity to such entities or gifts to such entities with a relation of releasing the negative karmic debt is the best way to release such types of karmic debts. Therefore, I, Metatron, now leave you. Turn to the mountain of light within yourself. Bye.
And now, my friends, after watching the video, I hope you have gained some understanding of what is a crop circle. So basically what I understood from the session is that Metatron said that crop circles usually are of two types. The first one is they are the energies which have been received from outer space, and these energies, they create some type of design or shapes or patterns in the fields. That is the first type. The second type is when Orion spacecrafts or any other type of spacecraft, they appear in our planet, and they when they land in such certain areas, they create types of crop circles because of the energy they emanate from their spacecraft. So that is what I understood about the crop circles. The other one is about how many alien entities are living on Earth at the present. So fortunately, the answer is actually, directly speaking, there are none of the other extraterrestrial species on Earth which are of a positive polarity, but there may be certain negative entities like Orions and reptilians who do not respect the free will of the planet, who are found on this Earth planet. And what they said is, through the process of soul swap, entities may come into the planetary sphere. So about the karmic debt, this is very fascinating. What they said is basically, I understand that everyone is the one infinite creator, and what you do unto others, you are doing unto the creator. And if you do a good thing to other person, you're doing a good thing to the creator. If you do a bad thing to another person, you're doing a bad thing to the creator, and it comes back. So that is karmic debt. There can be a positive karmic debt when you do something good to others. Positive karmic debt is created, and a negative karmic debt is created when there is a negative action done unto others. So the best way to identify the karmic debt is via self-awareness, and the best way to release karmic debt is to practice forgiveness and to ask for repentance and to practice charity. So this is what was revealed in the session, and I want to say thank you to all of you for watching the video. And if you want to know your soul's identity, past life, and any other information, you can send an email to me. I will help you out. And the other thing is, I want to say thank you to all of you for downloading the transcript of the channeling sessions, which is freely available. And also thank you for getting the book version of the channeling sessions if you want to read it in a book format. With that being said, I'll see you in the next session. Until then, I hope you'll enjoy this session over here. Thank you, my friends.